I'm Steven with SideLine Scout, and here today with me is David Boudia.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
So, are you a book reader? Are you an audio guy? Do you listen to podcasts? What kind of things?
I wish I was a book reader. Normally, I'd pick up a book and there's probably 6 pages in, and I start dozing off. But I do spend a lot of time in my vehicle driving from where I live to practice. It's about 30 minutes, and so audiobooks are something that's in my library a lot, playing through my radio, and currently listening to John Wooden's Pyramid of Success, and next in line is Shoe Dog by Phil Knight from Nike. And so that's what I like. I want to be able to get a lot of perspectives from people who've had success and learn how they've done it and learn how I shouldn't do it. But I would rather listen to something than pick up a book and read, or give me the gist of it to read. And but my wife's always saying you should read a little more, and it's kind of like your mom says that too. But that means you have good women around you that are trying to help you.
If you could make or create a new rule for the sport of diving, what would that be?
I still don't know an answer for this.
Okay, okay, that's okay.
I think what I like about diving is you have your set 6 dives, but what I would like even more that I think I would excel in is if we had more than 6 dives. It'd make it probably pretty boring for the spectators, but my competitiveness is some guy from China. If we do 10 dives, I think I could do 10 dives better than him, or 20 dives better than him, and have like more of an all around. But also the diving is a hard sport because it's subjective. It's not like you start a clock and stop a clock. And so there's no system where like politics are still in there. There's still subjectivity to the sport, where I think that's an 8 out of 10. I think that's a 9 out of 10. And so there's obviously no way to change that. But that would be an awesome rule, where best man wins because they did the best dive, not because they've had the most success on this event in the past 4 years, or because that happens in competition.
So technology is evolving all the time. Mm-hmm. There's all sorts of artificial intelligence and all these different new things that are coming out. How far away do you think we are from them being able to, a computer, to be able to grade that dive?
Oh, my mind doesn't work that way. So the innovation, I think there's pros and cons to it. Obviously, You take out the human aspect of the judge's experience, and it's kind of a comical role. Like you go to figure skating, and the Russian judge, they're always going to give the 4 instead of the 8, and but there's kind of that funny aspect that people spin off of. But it also would make it a little easier it took off from this point and it got this high and spun this fast and looked this crisp in the air and had this amount of splash. And I don't know, you play a tricky game in that sort of role of pros and cons to innovation sometimes, but I think technology is a good thing right now.
So what's the first piece of technology that you ever remember using or kind of getting introduced to in the sport of diving, or maybe even in gymnastics in your earlier years? Or
I think music has probably been the easiest, the handheld music devices, but I do remember when they came out with the colored iPods, and a brick of a thing. And my coach actually bought our team these iPods, and he put together the best dives that we had in the competition. So I remember riding on the bus to the competition and being able to watch the best dives that I've done to prepare for the competition. And from that, the technology has been crucial for my success in the sport.
So how do you feel that video has helped you get better in the sport? How have you used it? What have you done with it?
Well, I think because diving's such a technical sport, over the years, video has been crucial to help tweak the little fine details in your dive. And long ago, it was just you tape it. And I remember sitting in my mom's car on the way home from practice and rewinding it and looking at the dive and then rewinding it again to see what was wrong with it. And this is on the handheld brick recorders. And so it's evolved tremendously. And then coming to Purdue, we had a system where you could start to analyze it piece by piece, frame by frame, and not have to go back and record or rewind the whole thing. And so that's why I think, even though I was skeptical in 2016 when SideLine came in, it's evolved how I trained. Now I get instant feedback in the pool where I can go in and to a practice and do one dive and automatically go to the iPad and see exactly, scrub to the point where I thought the mistake was and see where my arms were here where they should have been here. And it's instant feedback. And my coach growing up always used to say, and I could still hear him, but he'd always clap his hands and say, details make champions, details make champions. And with video, that's how we become champions, to get those little fine details in the sport, the technical aspect, to transfer us into hopefully being successful in a competition at the Olympic Games or World Championships.
So you feel that SideLine Scout has the difference between, you being able to, when you're younger, you're watching it on a camcorder or something in the car on your ride home.
Yeah.
Now being able to watch it right after you come out of the pool and being able to make that adjustment or have that relationship with a feeling with what you're seeing, is that been a big part of that? Or
yeah, I think diving is, you need instant feedback, and that's one of the tools that has helped us become successful. And a lot of it before SideLine Scout, it was the old TiVo systems. And one of the things that I love about SideLine is that I can study it and practice, but it's super easy to get my phone, drop all my dives onto my phone, and then I can go home and study what went wrong or what went right. And so it's not like I have to take the recorder, the camera home, plug it in, rewind it. It's already in I have my front dive or my front 4.5, and it's labeled, and it's not like I have to flip through it. I go right to it. I go home. I know I'm looking at 109C's front 4.5 on that day. And then the next day I can get those dives put into my phone. And so the instant feedback, but also the ease that I have to be able to use the videos that I had in practice to study it to get better the next day and then ultimately for that next competition.
David will return in the next episode on May 8th.